Hi, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about two of the products in the Anastasia Beverly Hills Holiday 2020 collection. I have the Mini Soft Glam 2 palette and the Mini Lip Gloss set. The Mini Soft Glam 2 eyeshadow palette is $29 and has 8 shades. 6 of these shades are from the original Soft Glam palette and 2 are from the original Norvina palette. The 2 shades from the original Norvina palette are Incense and Dreamer, and the other 6 are from the original Soft Glam, but I also want to point out that Tempera, this first shade right here, is also in the Modern Renaissance palette. So starting right there, I would say if you already have the Soft Glam palette, skip this little mini. Now I have almost all of the Anastasia palettes. I really love ABH eyeshadow quality. They are always very buttery and smooth. There is usually a lot of kickback, which means when you touch the shadows, a lot of dust comes up from that, but they wear really well, they blend really well, they don't usually skip on my eyelids. I have kind of crepey, wrinkly eyelids, so skipping can be a really bad issue and something that happens very easily for me. So to me, that's a really great indicator of a really excellent formula versus a formula that's kind of lacking. Another issue that some Anastasia formulas have is that they can be so creamy that you can almost dig them right out of the pan if you use your fingertips to apply your eyeshadow. So I'm going to show you on a different palette because this one didn't seem to have that problem, so let me show you what I mean. I have the original Norvina palette, and I'm going to use the shade Summer because that's not one that I wear very often. But when you go in really firmly to swatch or to apply your eyeshadow, you can really dig a hole into your eyeshadows, and that isn't cool. Back to the Soft Glam 2 mini palette. I'm going to show you that with Dreamer, I didn't really have that issue that I had with the Norvina palette of really digging into the eyeshadow, but I would still caution to be very careful because these can be very soft and you don't want to just destroy your palette or waste product for no reason. I'm gonna see if I can hold all of these up at the same time. But I have in my collection the Modern Renaissance, Original Norvina, and Sultry palettes. I also have Riviera, but that color story is completely different, so I didn't include that in this little roundup here. And you can see that there is a lot of similarities across the board with all of the ABH palettes. You might also notice that I do not have the original Soft Glam palette. That's because I prefer more neutral and cool tones when it comes to my personal preferences and my skin. Of course, a color palette that works well on my skin isn't necessarily what's going to work on your skin or vice versa. So when it came to the full-size Soft Glam, I skipped that one. It was a little bit brown and peach and orange on me because it had some of those more warm undertones, but I did want to pick up this little Soft Glam mini to test it out and give her a chance. I do love that she has your neutral, everyday lighter shades over here. You can also really smoke it out with this black. You have this brown to give it a little bit more depth for an everyday or a brown smoky look. But of course, the one I would swap out is this orange one, Orange Soda. I don't really know what I would do with that one, but again, on you, it may be stunning. So let's go ahead and swatch this. Top row from left to right, we have Tempera, Dreamer, Orange Soda, and Dusty Rose. Bottom row, from left to right, we have Incense, Sultry, Mulberry, and Noir. Here are your Soft Glam 2 mini palette swatches. Of course, it's no surprise, these 4 are my favorite. This one is gorgeous when the light hits it. So is this one. So shiny. I think you can create so many looks with this palette. Like I said, you can stay super light and soft. You can make things a little bit deeper with this brown, almost a burgundy color. Love those two together. You can smoke things out with that black. I'm loving this Dusty Rose. I think that is so pretty. Today for my look, I have Incense in my crease as a transition shade. I have a little bit of tempera along my brow line, dreamer all over my lid. I have dusty rose just kind of in that outer corner, and then I put a little bit of sultry in that outer deep crease and buffed it out for a little bit of a deeper shimmer. I think this is a super pretty look. It's very, very simple, but I think for being such a tiny little palette, I think it's very versatile. Moving on to the mini lip gloss kit. This kit is $28 and has 4 shades of mini lip gloss. As you can see, the shades are all super light, almost a pastel. And we have 2 just kind of sheer non-shimmer formulas and 2 with shimmer. I don't really have much to say about it beyond that. It is a mini lip gloss kit, so let's get swatching. Going from left to right, we have the shades Tasty, Bubbly, Sweet, and Clouds. Here are your holiday mini lip gloss kit swatches. As you can see, they are all very sheer. I was very surprised at how sheer these lip glosses are. There's hardly any pigmentation in the 2 non-sparkle ones, and the sparkle ones almost look more like a topper to me. There's not a lot of color or pigment to the actual gloss itself. It just gives you a lot of sparkle. For example, I am wearing the shade Clouds right now, and the color that you're seeing is the actual color of my lips. It really didn't change much at all. And even when I put on the shade Bubbly, which does look like it has a little bit more pigmentation in the tube, it does add a little bit of shimmer and shine, but it really doesn't change the color. Yes, it changes kind of a little bit of the tone of the sparkle, but it really didn't change the color of my lips like a lip gloss might. And it's not a bad thing. You don't necessarily always want a gloss to completely change the color of your lips. Sometimes you just want a little bit on top. But when I think about a holiday kit and buying a lip gloss set, I would expect at least one of them to have a little bit more coverage. With that being said, if you just want some really nice sheer glosses, you like having a little bit of sparkle and a little bit of color in the tube, but you really don't want it to impact your overall look, maybe you just want the gloss toppers, maybe you just need a little bit of a shine, then this kit is great. But I would recommend, instead of this holiday kit, pick up the Anastasia Beverly Hills Spring Lip Gloss Kit, because these are so good. You can tell they have a ton more pigmentation to them than this new holiday set. I almost would have thought these would be switched. I would think these kind of sheer pastel-y ones would be more spring, and then the more pigmented rosy ones would be more holiday. But I really love these, and I want to show you the difference between Bella and Sparkle Lava and what you just saw with the holiday kit. My skin didn't like that wipe and wiping those lip glosses off, but ignore me, it's fine. So this is Bella. Look at that pigmentation. That is so pretty. And this is Sparkle Lava. And it is just a wow sparkle formula. It reminds me a lot of the Pat McGrath Labs Opulust gloss. So again, that compared to the super sheer we saw in these, I think there's a big difference. And like I said, it's just personal preference. For me, I prefer the more opaque lip gloss. And if you're paying $28 for 4 lip glosses, either way, go with the one that's gonna work for you. For me, I love these, but I just can't see myself using these super sheer ones as often. I'm gonna show you Bella on. Like I said, it's one of my favorites. It is so good. Final thoughts on these new products from the ABH Holiday 2020 collection. They're here. I think you already know where I stand on this lip gloss kit. If you're going to pick one of the $28 lip gloss kits, go with the spring one. I would pass on this particular holiday one. I know 2020 is weird. I know things got messed up with manufacturing. Things got messed up with people's timelines. Totally get that. People aren't spending as much for holiday. Totally get that too. I love having edited down collections. I love having more minis. I think instead of recreating almost an entire palette, by taking basically like half of the Soft Glam palette and putting in a couple others, maybe take 2 from every palette they've ever done and put it together as like a holiday master collection. I think that could be such a cool thing, even if it's the best sellers. Like, oh my goodness, I would totally buy an 8-pan bestseller mini palette that I could carry with me everywhere if it had like a matte and a sparkle from every single palette put together in a mini. Would be really cool. If you don't already have the original Soft Glam palette and you love these shades, buy this palette. It's $29, which is a lot less than the full size. You can really do a lot of things with these shades. Overall, it's a nice little palette. I just don't feel like it is true Anastasia Beverly Hills Holiday. This is Anastasia Beverly Hills Holiday. You've got your sparkles, you've got your smoke, you've got your pop of color, you've got everything. You've got your shimmer and shine in the packaging. One thing ABH does is wow. The Riviera palette was wow. The Sultry palette is wow. You know, when you think about these original ABH palettes, they all came with something new and they were special, and it really made you want to buy every single one. But I just thought they were kind of lackluster for holiday. You've kind of come to expect more from ABH. They're not skimping on anything. I just wish it would have been a little bit more exciting for holiday, especially in a year like 2020 when we could use some happiness, some sparkle, some wow for holiday. It doesn't need to be really expensive. I definitely agree. Keep the cost down, do the minis, but nothing's just really drawing me to either one of these. Now I'm turning this over to you. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Were you expecting something different from Anastasia for the holidays? Do you like the idea of a remixed mini palette? What are your thoughts on more sheer glosses versus more pigmented? Do you like the minis? Let me know. I really love hearing what you have to say. While you're at it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you know when I launch a new video. Happy holidays, and I'll see you next time.